seated. Brinion da, a croeso i'ch seremoni graddio. Mae'n braf iawn a'ch gweld i chi yma heddiw gyda'ch teulu ac cyfeilion sydd wedi bod yn gefn i chi ar hyd y ffordd. So good afternoon everyone and welcome to your graduation ceremony. It's delightful to see you all here, a very full house, with your family and friends who have supported you along the way. It's always a joy to attend graduation because it gives us an opportunity to celebrate everything that you've achieved whilst you've been with here. But it also gives us a chance to pause and think about what lies ahead. What comes next? Well, one way or another, what comes next is the rest of your life. And while I hope that while you've been here, we've worked in partnership to make sure that you've not just learnt about your discipline, but have acquired a whole host of other skills and experiences, so that a range of opportunities has been at your feet. I hope you leave us as a more rounded, articulate person, but with the ability to forge your own path. Life is a little bit like an orchestra. There will be times where you will be playing the bass line, the bass continuo, providing a very firm foundation for others around you. There are going to be other times in your life where you're going to blend into the background and into the texture of a piece or a project. You'll be supporting others and being a real team player. But there will also be times when you will step forward, step out of the team and be a leader, and you will get to play the tune. The music analogy can, of course, be taken a step further. To be a good musician, you have to spend many, many hours of practice, of learning, note bashing, playing scales, but you also have to learn to both read and understand music. You need to know about rhythm, you need to know about split-second timing in those exposed parts of a piece. This is just one way of describing the complex array of skills that we hope that you have developed during your time with us. I come from a generation where I was the first in my family to ever go to university. My parents had no choice because the Second World War was on, but both parents, and particularly my mother, continuously stressed the importance of education as being one way in which you could have choices in life. Unfortunately, she died very young, and so did not see me use my education to have a life that has been exciting, challenging, but also a privilege. There are still times when I walk into the main building of Cardiff University and have to pinch myself to realise how fortunate that I am. I work for Cardiff University. From my current office window, I can see the attic bedroom where my grandmother came to Cardiff in 1914. She came to Cardiff from a small village in West Wales to be a kitchen maid in Cardiff. Kitchen maid to Pro-Vice-Chancellor in 3 generations shows what education can do. Opportunity was the thing that made a difference. And yes, I'm a Cardiff graduate. As you leave this hall today, you join the congregation of the university and become part of a vibrant and inspiring alumni. I look at you, and I see our future. Please go and share your knowledge. Encourage others to take up the challenge of discovering and then sharing that knowledge. Don't be afraid to fail, because we all do eventually. Something will go wrong. But pick yourself up. Decide what you need to learn from that experience, and with your head held very high, get back out there and step into the light. Today is about celebrating your success. Embrace it, enjoy it, but above all, appreciate it. Never stop learning. And as you leave today, on behalf of Cardiff University, I wish you health, happiness, and success. From here, please go out and make the world a better place. I now have pleasure in introducing Cardiff Rhys-Jones, who graduates this week with a degree in Welsh and politics. Cardiff will read a poem from Wales's inaugural national poet, Gwyneth Lewis. Many of you will have seen her work because it's the biggest poem in the world. It's on the front of the Wales Millennium Centre. Gwyneth has been writer-in-residence at the University School of Physics and Astronomy and is now an honorary fellow of the university. Appropriately, the poem is called Education and was specially commissioned by Cardiff University. Diolch yn fawr iawn, mwynhauwch y seremoni.
Education by Gwyneth Lewis. Beiddia feiddio, gwellhad o wneud. Myna geisio, parchad ddweud. Traws newidiad fydd dy glod, dy ddyfodol, mentro bod. Learning's a passport that returns you home a better person. It permits you to dare being daring, makes you secure with not knowing everything, helps you welcome some failure, forges an alloy with others' thinking. It is simple delight in mind and its motions, scintillates, but isn't deceptive. Admits the joy of institutes, is the open road to everywhere but bigotry. It's the shortest distance between you and me, and, if you're lucky, it never ends.
Renowned are croeso I Gaerdydd. Good afternoon, welcome to Cardiff, to St David's Hall, and to our 2014 graduation ceremony. I'm John Jeans, and I'm privileged to be the Chair of Council here at Cardiff University. May I offer you my warm congratulations to all of you graduating today. As you sit there waiting to come up on stage, you must be feeling a mixture of emotions. I'm sure that many of you feel excited, some of you relieved, but most of all, I hope you feel a great sense of achievement. All of you deserve congratulations several times over. Firstly, congratulations on winning admission in the first place. Cardiff is one of the most sought-after universities in the UK. Admission standards are high. Selection, as you probably remember, is extremely competitive. For every one of you sitting there, 6 or 7 applicants were fighting keenly to be in your place today. Secondly, congratulations on your years of study here. Research-led teaching is one of the distinctive features of Cardiff University. Many of you will have participated in research projects, learned to ask new questions, and to challenge conventional wisdom. Whether you stay in academic research or pursue another career, I hope that the free, inquiring Cardiff state of mind will stay with you. And most importantly, congratulations and welcome to the many family, friends, and supporters who join us here today, many of whom will have travelled great distances to be here. We owe a great deal to the support of family and friends, moral support, guidance and encouragement, but in many cases also considerable financial support. I urge all of you who are graduating today to send your heartfelt thanks to everyone who has helped you. 3 years ago, I was in this auditorium watching my daughter receive her degree, and therefore have a very special empathy for the emotions you're feeling today. I vividly recall the sense of pride at seeing my daughter walk across the stage and shake the Vice-Chancellor's hand, and can assure you that this moment will live long in your memory, especially as that wonderful photograph will, I'm sure, soon have pride of place in your home. I'm confident that those graduating will allow you a sense of shared pride in their accomplishments, and I'm delighted that you can join us for this very special celebration. Enjoy this day. This is the beginning of your future. You're entering upon a journey of lifelong learning, and your tutors will hope that much more than the knowledge they've imparted to you is an understanding of the methods of learning, of analysis, of intellectual thinking, which should serve you well for the rest of your days. Go out into the community, your community, to educate, to encourage thought, not prejudice, and be prepared to defend education. In this world of mass communication, massive open online courses, YouTube, virtual lectures, academics face a fundamental question. If information is everywhere, does anyone need a university education? All of you here today are testament to the value of a Cardiff University education, to the benefits of learning in an international environment, and of our research-led teaching. The internet helps share information, but the volume of misinformation reinforces, more than ever before, the need for evidence-based knowledge. I feel that by far the best prospect for responsible application and regulation must lie with a better informed public. We must use this knowledge and how we apply it for the good of humankind around the world. It is this idea of application that arguably defines the Cardiff graduate. Some 94% of Cardiff University graduates entering employment or professional training or study shortly after completing their course. Application underscores the university's achievements too. Our students remain the most satisfied with their educational experience in Wales, according to the National Student Survey. And record numbers of students are being offered the chance to apply their learning through the Cardiff University Research Opportunities Programme, which allows students to sample live research and enhance their academic skills. These achievements are reflected in the resounding success of the School of Music and the School of Social Sciences. In the School of Music, new staff publications this year include a biography of the creators of some of the best-known Russian music of the 19th century, an exploration of the style in Turkish music, and an interdisciplinary volume tracing Salome as a cultural icon through the 20th century. Emeritus Professor Adrian Thomas was awarded the Gloria Artis Gold Medal, Poland's highest cultural honour, in acknowledgement of his outstanding contribution to the study of Polish music. And the School of Social Sciences continues to make great strides in understanding changes in this fast-moving social world. The school was ranked in the top 100 in the world for sociology in the QS World University Rankings, and the school secured a share of a £19.5 million grant as part of an ambitious programme to improve quantitative social science training through the Cardiff Q-STEP Centre. Congratulations too on what you have all brought to Cardiff and to Wales. Many of you will have taken part in Student Volunteer in Cardiff, one of the largest schemes in the country. You have given more than 50,000 hours of your time in the past year, helping more than 900 people each week. From the Youth Club, established for young people with Down syndrome, to the day trips organised for young carers, you are a prime reason why Cardiff University is so valued in its home community. Sport plays an important part in university life, and your contribution has been enormous again this year. You retained the Varsity Shield for Cardiff, and others of you will be competing in the international stage at the upcoming Commonwealth Games. Carry the determination and commitment you've demonstrated during your time here with you as you embark on your future career. You will be among the professionals who will lead this and other nations. It will not be an easy job. There's a lot to be done, and I hope you all leave here with a solid determination to contribute to the culture, welfare, and prosperity of your family, your communities, and humankind. I urge you to be the gatekeepers of good sense and the educators for tomorrow. Thank you.
I will now read the proclamation, first in Welsh, then in English. Nerth gwlad ei gwybodaeth. Boed hysbys i holl aelodau'r brifysgol ac ar hyd y lled y byd fod cynulliad o Brifysgol Caerdydd yn cael ei gynnal heddiw ym Mhrifddinas Cymru. O dan awdurdod siarter frenhinol y Brifysgol, mae'r cynulliad hwn yn cyfarfod i dderbyn y myfyrwyr sydd yn rhinweddu hastudiaethau hysgol heictod wedi harholi'n briodol yn unol â statudau'r Brifysgol ac wedi cael yn deilwng o'i graddau. Wrth ddathlu llwyddiant y rhai sy'n graddio yn y cynulliad hwn, fe'i hatgoffwn o'i cyfrifoldeb i gyfrannu o werthoedd y Brifysgol hon. Nod iddynt hwy i'w ceisio drwy eu cyflawniadau, wasanaethu ar lles pawb, ymdrechu sicrhau rhagoriaeth ym mhob peth ac ymboeni am ddyfodol ein byd. Gwrandewch yn awchus ar ddoethineb, gan ei fod yn cynnig gobeith a gwirionedd ym mhob cenhedlaeth. Nerth gwlad ei gwybodaeth. A nation's strength is in its learning. Let it be known to all members of the university and throughout the world that today in the capital city of Wales, a congregation of Cardiff University is taking place. Under the authority of the university's Royal Charter, this congregation meets to receive those students who, by virtue of their studies and scholarship, have been appropriately examined according to the university statutes and found worthy of their degrees. We celebrate the success of those who graduate in this congregation, and in doing so remind them of their responsibility to share in the values of this university. It is for them to seek, through their achievements, to serve the common good, to strive for excellence on all things, and care for the future of our world. Be attentive to wisdom, for it offers hope and truth in every generation.
Pnawn da, croeso I bawb. Good afternoon and welcome everybody. And if it's your first time in Cardiff, some of our guests here may well be, I do hope you have a chance to have a look around this wonderful city and also take a look at our great university and its beautiful setting. We come now to the presentation of graduates, and this is obviously the body of the ceremony. It's the important part where you receive your degrees, and I'll just tell you what's going to happen. So the students will come across the stage, a representative of their school or college will read out their name, and you're allowed at that moment to burst out into applause and celebrate the achievement of your friend, daughter, son, mother, father, whoever it might be, brother, sister. But please stop when they've shaken their hands, because it gives a chance for the next person's name to be heard. So that's the only point about that one. Once all the students have crossed the stage and returned to their seats, I will ask them to stand, those who've just been across the stage, and I'm going to then speak a sentence in Welsh which will admit them to their degrees. Now, those of you who don't speak Welsh won't understand. Those of you who do speak Welsh might not understand what I say either. So I will translate it. What I will say means in English, through the authority conferred upon me by the university, I receive you to the award of, I will name the award, and all the honours pertaining thereto. So that's what will happen, and we will now move to the presentation of graduates.
I, Professor Kenneth Hamilton, am very happy to introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Jamie Burns, Kathleen Emily Harris, Lakshmi Kapoor, Jack McDougall, Alice Raphael, Angelica Maria Lee Bomford, Lawrence Alexander Collier, Henry Charles Morgan, Matthew Stephen Podd, Bethan Richardson, Rosemary de Jong, Emma Christine Norman, Dewey John Allen Priest, Thomas Wallace.
Would the students who have just crossed the stage please stand? Rhoi awdurdod y Brifysgol a ymryddiadau i mi derbynnu a chwi i raddbagor yn y celfyddydau ac eu hoff reiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Kenneth Hamilton, am very happy to introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Music. Jason Barnes, Polly Victoria Bartlett, Rhys James Batt, Julian Bayliss, Jonathan Alexander Bentley, Sarah Berbillion, Joshua James Betteridge, Nathan Bird, Rhiannon Claire Rees Braddock, Gillian Branch, Ewan Caburn, Jessica Francis Cale, Si-Hugh Chu, Isabel Harriet Clary, Anna Crisp, Bryony Doyle, Mifanwi Dimond, Robin Peter Hugo Easton, Alexander Warren Arthur Evans, Gwyneth Ellery Evans, Natasha Emily Rose Guider, Christopher David Gibbons, Daniel Green, Emma Jane Griffiths, Alice Victoria Livingston Gunn, Jessica Louise Haig, Gareth Ryan Hansford, Nathan Stephen Harrison, Philippa Francis Harvey, Andrew Hawkins, Stephen Hickling, Sam Hickman, Jordan Richard Hurst, Callum Harry Stewart Hodgetts, Elizabeth Catherine Howells, Charlotte Jane Hughes, Joanne Huxton, Sadie Louise Jacklin, Harriet Jenkins, Catherine Jennings, Carol Joanne Daniela Jones, Jack Arthur Lewis, Shan Ellery Littlejohns, Laura MacDonald, Felicity Rachel Amy Maidment, Donald James Montgomery, Alexandria Moon, Catherine Sarah Mottershead, Jessica Mary Mullins, George Alistair Murdoch, Rosemary O'Reilly, Timothy James Outlaw Palmer, Edward Morley Parks, Bryony Claire Pike, Matthew David John Price, Jessica Nia Golda Sigalov, Kirsten Shepherd, Joshua Stanley, Marad Thomas, Andrew Christopher Thompson, Danielle Ward, and Eleanor Wilson.
Will the students who've just crossed the stage please stand? Rhoi awdurdod o brifysgol a ymriedoedd I mi, derbyniaf chwi i'r araddbagdar y mewn cerddoriaeth ac I hoff reiniau aradd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Malcolm Williams, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Laurie Abel. Naomi Austin. Freya Isabel Bath. Rebecca Amber Rose Dahill. Phoebe Grace Davis. Hannah Ellis. Haiba Iqbal. Carla Sylvia Lorraine Jones. Lisa Rebecca Jones. James Loomy. Ruby Marzella. Hannah Nisa. Hattie Noel. Kelly Oakley. Kristen Obradovich. Alexander Victoria N. Pennock. Chloe Price. Jenny Rupp. Hannah Margaret Patricia Turton. Nicole Louise Williams. Nicola Wood. Rebecca Erin Mary Wright. Rupi Eleanor Birchall. Christina Cunliffe. Priscilla Lim Shi-Hoi. Joe Main. April McKay. Stefania Ilicha Nastasia. Emily Pereira. Tino Paulo.
Will the students who've just crossed the stage please stand? Rhoi awdurdod I brifysgol a ymriedoedd I mi, derbyniaf chwi i'r raddbagor yn y celfyddydau ac I hoff reiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Malcolm Williams, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Economic and Social Studies. Samuel Barker. Sarah Ryan Barker. Rebecca Bonner. Judith Rebecca Brennan. Neil DeArth. Benjamin Jason Brown. Rachel Sarah Hardwick. Rhiannon Matthews, Liberty McCarthy, Charlotte Alexa Moore, Hannah Rhiannon Rees, Rachel Rushton, Rhys David Sanders, Georgia Sproul, Bryony Thorogood, Hannah Warr, Rebecca Bonnet Yaden, Philip Anderson, Anita Askanon, Jessica May Burden, Jade Lily Casey, Shu Wing Cheng, Emily Cook, Elisa Cridford, Chloe Maria Edwards, Monica Elizabeth Edwards, Laura Jane Entwistle, Naomi Kate Evans, Aaron David Foley, Emma Isabel France, Poppy Gaze, Faye Louise Harper, Shoned Harris, Chloe Faye Howard, Emily Rachel Hoy, Jessica Lai, Sophie Morris, Lydia May O'Keefe, Hannah Paisley, Hannah Parry Evans, Tanya Elena Ruchanu, Helen Smith, Daniel Stavrakis, Elliot Topham, Alexander Watkin Bourne, Lauren Waden, Agatha Dunlop, Victoria May Francis, Bianca Stileman, Amber Woodrow, Helen Abbey, Sophie Richards, Robert Lawson, Alex Louise Ellis, Elizabeth Bennett, Jessica Berry, Eleanor Rachel Bynum, Lucy Boyle, Hannah Breeze, Angus Campbell, Emma Elizabeth Ann Gallagher, Rabia Chaudhuri, Amy Elizabeth Collins, Megan Corton, Richard Eatwell, Samuel Freston, Clarissa Galloway, Thomas Greenall, Georgia Claire Lee Hanson, Chloe Henderson, Martin Scott Thomas Hogg, Catherine Kahan, Aidan Kirkwood, Casey MacDonald, Rachel Martin, Stephanie Mills, Felicity Morris, Alice Palmer, Bethan Pengelly, Harriet Lucinda Price, Frances Siobhan Rock, Jordan Sims, Ian Angus Smith, Cara Marie Stedman, Sophie Grace Louise Stone, Hannah Jane Warsap, Ashley Ryan White, Bryony Curry, Georgina Hopkinson, Eleanor Lane, Sarah Meggs, Emma Louise Poole, Rachel Cook, Elizabeth Emery, Anna Garfit, Benjamin Hart, Lorna Mason, Nadine Williams, Joshua Allen, Lisa Rose Allen, Zoe Clegg, Polly Eliza Dempsey, Keely Amanda Golden, Lucy Victoria Griffin, Gianna Maria Rosa Tomasi,
Will the students who've just crossed the stage please stand? Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol yn riedoedd i mi, derbyniaf chwi i raddbagor mewn astudiaethau economaidd a chymdeithasol ag i hwfreiniau arall hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Malcolm Williams, introduce those who have received the degree of Bachelor of Science. Alicia Ailing, Gabriel Balburney Collins, Wendy Jane Burnell, Liddell Jane Canning, Catherine Mary Carroll, Mark Cox, Marcia da Silva, Jared Jason Davis, Eve Exley, Anna Graham, Shannon Green, Eleanor Hepworth, Elizabeth King, Sophie Carris Miles, Lewis Mark Mundy, Finola Nelligan, Callum Payne, Rebecca Louise Pierce, Zoe Phillips, Emma Louise White, Emma Wiltshire, Nicola Worth. Ayat Al-Sudani. Alice Amos. Elizabeth Atkins. Harriet Bartlett. Joanna Laura Barton. Elizabeth Riddle Bennett. Charlotte Billings. Megan Bloomfield. Emily Brent. Daisy Eleanor Grace Cannell. Emma Louise de Klerk. Jennifer Downey. Louise Mary Folks. Francesca Elizabeth Gallia. Cara Hale. Jacob Harris. Jessica Ann Harris. Holly Jones. William Jones. Grace Maria Keyworth. Sophia Daisy Lewis. Joseph Philip Lovett. Francesca Oliver. Abby Powell. Libby Runman. Arthur Russell. Charlotte Scott. Poppy Alice Seeger. Hannah Lucia Thomas. Marie Elizabeth Todman. Rebecca White. Rebecca Wilmot. Ilwad Ari Yunus.
Will the students who have just crossed the stage please stand? Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd i mi, derbynu a chwi i raddbagor y mewn gwyddoniaeth ac i hoff reiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor Malcolm Williams, introduce those who have received the Professional Graduate Certificate in Education. Judith Helen Babington Fowler. Claire Corrigan. Danielle Marie Curtis. Matthew Drayton. Sarah Helen Gregory. Hannah Louise Minty. Victoria Lee Morgan. Julie Owens. Luke William Thomas Pitt. Jodie Louise Stafford. Andrew Thompson. Angharad Beth Workman. Catherine Young.
Will the students who've just crossed the stage please stand? Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol yn riedoedd i mi derbyniaf chwi I dysysgrif hyfryddig proffesiynol mewn addysg ag I hoffreiniau ar hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor George Boyne, introduce those who have received the Postgraduate Certificate in Education. Safa Ahmed. Halima Ibrahim. Alex Bailey. Leanne Jane Bannister. Daniel Mark Bartlett. Robert David Barton. James Alexander Bevan Dibble. Gemma Elizabeth Champion. Helen Cheshire. Nicholas William Eric Cheshire. Philip Rees Clark. Jonathan Luke Vincent Crocker. Gemma Cusack. Emma Jane Davis. Nadine Elizabeth Gibby. Catherine Suzanne Griffin. Ashley Kyle Hill. Janice Louise Hill. Leah Grace Helen James. Laura Jenkins. Patrick James Conrad Langford. Rian Lowe. Asma Maruf. Radomir Matanovic. Emily Rose Elizabeth Morris. Samantha O'Keefe. Andrea Payne. Luke Samuel Prosser. Lauren Rebecca Selway. Afra Mohammed Khalil Siam. Alexandra Louise Smith. Melissa Thomas. Adam James Tusson. Roxanne Elizabeth Weston. Holly Jean Williams. Rebecca Wood.
Will the students who've just crossed the stage please stand up? Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol a ymddiriedwyd I mi derbyniaf chwi I dysysgrif yr ôl rhaddedig mewn addysg ag I holl freiniau ar hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor George Boyne, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Arts. Michael Paul Nash. Roderick Charles Lawford. Sarah Price. Claire Sandra Sharp. Rosalie Hannah Bryant, Joanna Brooke, Oliver Roberts, Laura Jane Boyle, Justine Marie Bradney, Joanne Coombs, Sarah Danishar, Rhys Lee Davis, Claire Day, Catherine Amy Evans, Jamie Leighton Fenaroli, Laura Gregory, Kaylee Hallsmith, Laurie Elizabeth Jones, Jessica Mansell, James Markey, Keris Medcraft, Lee Colin Moole, Lucy O'Callaghan, Stephanie Zara Ann Price, Rachel Radford, Laura Emily Roberts, Rachel Louise Roberts, Melanie Suzanne Rogers, Emily Gwenfron Webb, Alison Westlake, Jade Louise Williams,
Will the students who've just crossed the stage please stand up? Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol a'n rhedoedd I mi, derbyniaf chwi i'r arathro yn y celfyddydau ac I hoff reiniau aradd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor George Boyne, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Music. Ethan Davis, Daniel Wynne Jones,
Will the students who just crossed the stage please stand up? I've got to do my bit first. I'll say my piece, hang on. Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol a'n rhedoedd I mi, derbynnu ar chwi i'r arathro mewn cerddoriaeth ac I hoff reiniau aradd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor George Boyne, introduce those who have received the degree of Master of Science. Mark Ashton Berry, Kathleen Elizabeth Cloran, Lisa DeLate, Roger Graham Gardner Peachy, Dinu Popa, Samia Dridzi Zutune, Zainanura Kayali, Kuminiye Obilanade, Rachel Marie Phillips, Adam Hill-Roosh, Anya Evans, Selina Tayangadze Moyo, Fiona Spence, Margaret Frances Thomas, Melissa Robin Wood, Sarah Louise Barrett, Hushnera Begum, Jonathan Lloyd David Bevan, Anna Melina Galaska, Christopher Goldsworthy, Samuel John Hanks, Will John Mason Wilkes, Emma Jane Pugh, Richard Hugh Thomas,
Will the students who've just crossed the stage please stand up? Trwy awdurdod ar brifysgol a ymried oed I mi, derbynnu a chwi i'r addasro mewn gwyddoniaeth ac I holl freiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor George Boyne, introduce those who have received the degree of Doctor of Education. Susan Mary Golding, Stephen George Leverett, Rosanna Sutton,
Our new Doctors of Education, please stand up. Trwy awdurdod o brifysgol a ymried oed I mi, derbynnu a chwi i'r ardoethwyr mewn addysg ac I holl freiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor George Boyne, introduce those who have received the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Iris Akeyo, Ngatwawang Akamangwa, Kate Atfield, Christopher Nicholas Chatterton, Alice Charlotte Clayton, Susan Congram, Helen Barbara Crown, Karen Evans, Martin John Evans, Rhiannon Emily Evans, Corin Funnell, Matthew Ian William Hall, Sophie Hallett, Matthew Leonard Jones, Alexandra Dorata Kazmarek Day. Suraj Lakhani. Priscilla Leong. Matthew Thomas Machin Ottenreet. Danielle Louisa Ann Rayner. Louise Roberts. Chinsia Afro Yates.
Will our new Doctors of Philosophy please stand up? Rwy awdurdod y Brifysgol yn ddyddiadoedd I mi derbynnu a chwi I radddoeth ar y mewn athloniaeth ac I holl freiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
I, Professor George Boyne, introduce those who have received the degree of Doctor of Social Work. Colette Alexandra Limbrick.
Will our new Doctor of Social Work please stand up? Trwy awdurdod y Brifysgol am ddyddiadoedd I mi derbynnu a chwi I radddoeth ar y mewn gwaith cymdeithasol ac I holl freiniau ar radd hon. Congratulations.
Can I ask all of our candidates today who have just received an award to please be upstanding? You will now receive the greetings from the Chair of Council and from our sabbatical officer who is here to represent the Students' Union.
May your care ever be for the good name of our university and the well-being of our world.
You are now members of the distinguished alumni of this university. May your association with the university be cherished and be constant throughout your life. And may your care ever be for the fellowship of our university and the welfare of all people. As very proud graduates, I'm sure you would like to join the long-standing tradition at Cardiff University at these ceremonies by paying a special tribute to your families and friends who have supported you in so many ways over many years, not least financially, and indeed to thank the academic staff who have helped you reach the important point in your life today. Can I therefore invite you to turn around to greet your family and friends and to say a special and public thank you by giving them an enthusiastic round of warm applause. Thank you, and please be seated. Diolch.
Vice-Chancellor, may I just add my personal congratulations to all the graduating students and our eternal thanks to the shoe designers of the world. It's my pleasure to introduce Tony Woodcock as a Fellow of Cardiff University. Devotees of the legendary rock group Spinal Tap may recall that their Smell the Glove tour went sadly awry and they missed out Boston. They were, however, reassured by their incompetent management that Boston didn't really matter. It's not really a college town. The joke was, of course, that in Greater Boston there are approximately 50 universities and colleges in total. And one of the most distinguished of those institutions is the New England Conservatory, which is one of the world's leading professional music colleges, of which our guest today, Tony Woodcock, is the president. The New England Conservatory was founded in 1867. It currently has over 750 graduate and undergraduate students, 1,400 preparatory school students, and over 300 continuing education students. The conservatory faculty members and alumni make up almost half of the Boston Symphony Orchestra. Tony Woodcock is one of the most distinguished alumni of Cardiff University's School of Music. Tony's early career in artistic administration was here in Wales. On graduation from Cardiff, he worked with regional music promoters, and later he ran St David's Hall, which is where we are today for this ceremony. And over the years, the hall has been the venue for major musical performances in the city, including major orchestral series, the Welsh Proms, the biennial Cardiff Singer of the World competition, as well as numerous touring shows, recitals and concerts. Tony then went on to top positions with the City of London Sinfonia and Richard Hickok Singers, the Royal Philharmonic and the Bournemouth Symphony Orchestras. In Liverpool, he played a prominent role in their 150th anniversary celebrations, and he commissioned Paul McCartney to write the Liverpool Oratorio. The administration of the arts and the administration of educational institutions offer similar challenges, not least matching financial stability with artistic and cultural vision. And Tony has been notably successful in those twin aims. He's been widely credited with revitalising the finances and the artistic leadership at the Royal Liverpool and at the Bournemouth Orchestras, and subsequently in the United States of the Oregon Symphony and the Minnesota Orchestra. At the New England Conservatory, he has launched a new strategic plan and successfully led a campaign for a $115 million capital program. He has revamped the orchestra and the opera programs at the Conservatory and has launched a campus redevelopment plan. I know, Vice-Chancellor, that Cardiff means a great deal to Tony, and if I may say so, Tony means an equally great deal to us in Cardiff. Anrhydefus is gan hellor, cyflwynaf I ti, Tony Woodcock, fel camrawr ar anrhydedd, Prifysgol Cardiff.
Rhoi'r awdurdod a rhoddwyd I mi gan y Cyngor, derbynnu â chwi fel cymrawd yn anrhydedd Prifysgol Cardiff.
Thank you so much for this amazing honour. And I have to confess that I did manage to catch Spinal Tap in New York, and I was so pleased that they didn't make it to Boston. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Just to think, all those years ago when I was sitting where you were sitting, that this amazing journey, which is called life and career, would finally lead back to Cardiff. So I suppose this is my Ithaca moment. Congratulations to all of you. You all look smashing, beautifully dressed, beautifully turned out. No jeans and sneakers, which would be the American model. You have come with a sense of occasion, and I love the energy in this room. It is something really quite amazing. I hope that in the years you've been in Cardiff that you've had a thunderously good time studying, learning, and having fun. And that now you're faced with the vortex called the real world, which gapes before you. So I wish you all good fortune. My good fortune, when I was a bit younger than all of you, was to discover Cardiff. I came as a teenager from about the age of 14 to 18 as a Saturday violinist at the Welsh College of Music and Drama. And I then took my undergraduate here at Corbett Road and got my B.Mus. After I graduated, I felt full of the most amazing energy, optimism, ambition. I was firm-buttocked. I felt I knew the world. I knew all sorts of recondite information about music. For instance, which of Mahler's symphonies didn't include trombones, which stood me in good stead for my entire life. And the world was my oyster. Unfortunately, after I graduated, I was unemployed for some little while. But then Cardiff came back, and Cardiff offered me my first ever job. And I have to say, being employed is really wonderful. I commend it to you. And about 10 years after I graduated, and a couple of other jobs in London, I was invited back, as you have just heard, to be the general manager of this amazing concert hall, St. David's Hall, which at that time it had just opened. It was the signature development of a new Cardiff, and it was the most televised venue in the whole of Europe. And I witnessed and I was involved here with many, many performances. Tom Jones, I don't know if you can remember Tom Jones, maybe your grandparents talk about Tom Jones too, but he was a Welsh entertainer from the valleys of a particular ilk. And at the time he came to St. David's Hall and performed here, he, can I say, excited his feminine audience, who were moved to throw bouquets of their finest lingerie at his feet. And he would pick up what essentially were knickers, and it obviously happened to him a great deal. He would read the labels of each that were sent to him that he could carry. I was here when we promoted heavy metal. I stood just over there at a very biblical moment when these thousands of teenagers, it appeared, rushed into the hall to find me dressed in my DJ with a bow tie and all the rest of it. And in a sort of Moses moment, I held them all back with both hands, and they stopped. It was a feeling of enormous power. I remember Segovia, very old Segovia, dragging his guitar on stage to play from the soles of his feet the duende, which is Spanish music. Marius Janssen's twanging his way through Tchaikovsky with the St. Petersburg Philharmonic. And perhaps best of all, our son, Thomas, aged 4, sitting just up there, stopping a performance by the London Philharmonic Orchestra of Prokofiev's Peter and the Wolf. As the wolf eats the duck, he burst into tears and shouted and screamed and had to be taken out, and the performance on stage stopped. I thought I would be fired at the end of that. He actually got a headline in the next day's newspaper. Quite extraordinary. It was a magical time to be here in Cardiff and at St. David's Hall, and a magical beginning for a career that was essentially based upon good fortune. So, as you begin your beginnings, here are some beginnings for you. 3 very brief quotes. Once upon a time. Isn't it wonderful when stories begin with that line? Once upon a time. And it was a very long time ago, probably last Thursday. The second one. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak. And the last. Many years ago, as he faced a firing squad, Colonel Aureliano Buendia was to remember that distant afternoon when his father took him to discover ice. You can dwell upon those should you have the time. So I invite you as you face the world, because I am a huge believer in the power of the young, to take up your lightsaber or your sonic screwdriver, because size doesn't matter, and at an absolute minimum, change the world and discover ice. Thank you.
Vice-Chancellor, it's a very special privilege for me to introduce Sarah Miller-McKeown as a Fellow of Cardiff University. Vice-Chancellor, academics need their publishers. Publishers need their authors, need their editors. When that symbiotic relationship works, then we are all winners. Sarah Miller-McKeown has done a great deal to make such a relationship work. Sarah founded the publishing house, Sage, in 1965, famously with no more capital than the proceeds of selling a used air conditioner. She and her late husband, George, spotted an important niche in the market, specializing in research methods books for the social sciences. It was a stroke of genius. The market for methods books seems insatiable. And while Sage has diversified into many fields, research methods in the social sciences remains a core element of their publishing. From its small beginnings in 1965, Sage is now a global publisher with over 1,000 employees in California, London, Delhi, and Singapore. Many academic publishing houses in recent decades have been taken over and merged into ever larger multinational corporations, ever more remote from their authors and their readers. Sage, almost uniquely, remains privately owned and maintains those precious relationships with its academic communities. And if I may say so from a personal perspective, they are a class act. They still take their authors out for lunch. And they throw one of the best summer parties in London as well. Sarah's interests go far beyond the confines of academic publishing. In 2008, she founded the Miller-McKeown Centre for Research, Media and Policy, which brings together scientists, policymakers, politicians and business leaders to seek evidence-based solutions to major social problems. The Centre also publishes the magazine Pacific Standard, promoting expert opinion and debate. Sarah is a renowned philanthropist. The McCune Foundation, which she founded in 1990, supports grassroots organizations in California. She's also funded schools in the Third World. She has contributed to educational and medical establishments in her own Santa Barbara area. And the recently opened Sam Wanamaker Playhouse, the indoor Jacobean theatre at the Globe Complex, was completed with the help of a very major donation from Sage. Cardiff University enjoys close and productive relationships with Sage publishers. Many of its authors and editors are based here in the university, which is itself a major centre of excellence for social science research methods. The Cardiff School of Social Sciences has a formal developmental partnership with Sage, and in the current year, Sage are funding a postdoctoral research fellowship here at Cardiff. So it's a very special pleasure to welcome Sarah to Cardiff, to welcome her as a member of Cardiff University's family, and to say to her, on your behalf and also personally, Sarah, thank you, we love you. Yn rhydeddus isganhellor, cyflwynaf I ti Sarah Miller McCune fel camrawr ar anrhydedd Prifysgol Cardiff.
I mi gan y cyngor derbynnu â chwi fel cymrawd ar anrhydedd Prifysgol Cardiff.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here in this beautiful city and grateful to be honored by your amazing world-class university. As you students leave this place of excellence, now graduates, I am sure each of you will be proud of your achievements here. You can also be confident that as a Cardiff graduate, you will achieve much in your future lives as well. Sage, the company I founded nearly 50 years ago, is committed to the dissemination of academic research in the social and behavioral sciences, as well as in medicine and engineering. We are proud of our many collaborations with the outstanding social scientists here at the University of Cardiff, especially in research methodology with the Q-STEP and Cosmos initiatives. I believe this honor is also recognition that Sage is not a clone of other publishers, academic publishers, that is, whether they're for-profit or non-profit. Sage has many unique characteristics based on its fierce independence and the fact that its ownership ensures it operates on a very different basis from corporate giants. In particular, my estate plan ensures through a trust that Sage's independence will be retained virtually in perpetuity, and that a significant portion of the company's profits will ultimately benefit for institutions from within the academic community which the company was set up to serve. Now, in the 21st century, we all find ourselves living in interesting times, but they are also, as we all know, endlessly challenging times. And all these challenges, from global warming, water shortages, to ongoing discrimination, wars, and outbreaks of violence. One could lengthen this list indefinitely. Indeed, my magazine does. But these challenges are among the many that will be yours to resolve. Cardiff is a place of excellence. You all know that. Share that. Be that yourselves. And give back to the University of Cardiff and to your own communities when the time comes. You will recognize when and how. Once again, thank you so very much.
As Chair of Council of this university, I now have the duty to draw these proceedings to a close. This occasion is naturally one of the most pleasurable in the university calendar. It's a joy to be on this platform and to see the pride and relief of all the new graduates as they cross the stage. It's wonderful, too, that you've had the opportunity to share this occasion with today's illustrious Honorary Fellows. I trust that the pride and joy that you feel today will stay with you always. In the years to come, you will look back at your time at Cardiff University and realize that the happiness you've experienced, the friendships that you have made, and the depth of knowledge and experience gained have all served you well in your journey through life. Today, you join the worldwide family of Cardiff University alumni. It's a family that helps you stay in touch with each other and with us. Cardiff students are valued around the world for their skills, knowledge, and attitude. I hope that you'll remember and share your experience, and you will come back and see us often, and that you'll continue to support us so new generations can benefit as you have done from the outstanding teaching and learning here at Cardiff University. So on behalf of Cardiff University, your academic staff, the officers, your fellow students, and the great body of alumni throughout the world, I wish you all every success in the future. Good luck and a safe journey home. Diolch yn fawr.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the academic party.